Opening my eyes and returning to 1982, the first thing I did was rush up and give my own mother and younger brother a good beating with the soles of my shoes, then personally cut open my brother's pants. My mother wailed and cried, wanting to sever ties, but I raised the scissors and laughed. Fine, sever ties, but first return the hundreds of yuan you owe me, with interest. In my previous life, for the sake of so-called family affection, I lost my wife and child. In this life, reborn, I'm not going to be a blood bag anymore. I'll flip the table and grab the money. Opening my eyes, I saw my mother Wang Yuzhen's furious face, her spittle almost spraying on me. Stop playing dead. Your brother is going to town for a blind date in a couple of days. Take out the 30 yuan you earned from the sea yesterday and buy him some new clothes. My head was buzzing. The shabby mud brick house, the old newspapers on the wall, the patched quilt on the Kong. The calendar on the wall clearly read November 29th, 1982. I was reborn. Reborn at the age of 23, when my daughter hadn't been lost yet, and my wife was still here. My wife Zhao Xiaoying was half kneeling on the ground supporting me, with our daughter Xiaofang curled up in her arms. The little girl's hair was yellow and dry, her face red from the cold, covered in tears. I reached out and touched her, warm. In my previous life, it was this day that my mother and two younger brothers came and took away the money for our daughter's treatment. Later, my wife and I braved the snow to go to the sea to earn money. And when we came back, we found our daughter had been abducted. Xiaoying couldn't bear the blow, went mad, ran out in the winter to find the child, and froze to death in the snow. I searched for my daughter for over 40 years, found nothing, and finally lay in front of Xiaoying's grave and swallowed sleeping pills. With a blink, God really gave me a chance to start over. Xiaoying hugged the child, her voice choked with tears. Mom, we only have this 30 yuan. We need to treat the child and pay off our debts. You and Minfu are richer than us. Why do you covet our little bit? The second brother, Zhou Minfu, sneered. If I had money, I would have paid long ago, unlike you stingy people. Wang Yuzhen glared and shouted. Your father just passed away. All the money went to his treatment. There's no money left. A child's cold can be cured with some hot soup. Why need treatment? Asking you for a little money is like asking for your lives. Xiaoying's eyes were red, her body trembling. Mom, don't your conscience hurt saying that? How much has Hongqi contributed to this family over the years? Can't you see? Zhao Xiaoying. Wang Yuzhen raised her voice even higher. Is this how you talk to your elders? What has he contributed? When has he ever put his two younger brothers first? Now that your wings are hard, you don't want to take care of your old mother? Xiaoying's pent-up anger exploded. Fine, Minxiang and Minfu are both here. Let's settle the accounts today. Since I married Hongqi, you've come to make trouble every few days. Either father is sick or the brothers need money. In total, you've taken over 130 yuan. Last year, when Minfu got married, he needed the 3 turns and 1 ring and 100 yuan bride price. You came and made a scene, saying you'd kill yourself if we didn't give, and forcibly took the 100 yuan we had saved to repay brother Hangjun. At the beginning of the year, Minxiang wanted to go to the forest farm, and you came and took 50 yuan again. But he went to the county and gambled it all away. When father was injured by a black bear, no one cared. It was Hongqi who took care of him for 3 days and nights, losing several pounds. Wang Yuzhen's eyes darted, but she raised her voice. You have the nerve to say that. It's all Hongqi's fault for not taking good care of him. Otherwise your father wouldn't have died so early. Zhou Minxiang also complained. He can't even take care of his own father. We haven't settled with the eldest yet. Xiaoying opened her mouth but couldn't speak. Were these words from her own mother and brothers? I sneered inwardly. I had experienced this in my previous life. Do the most work, earn the most money, but get nothing. Anything good goes to the brothers, and when something goes wrong, it's my fault. When I got married, my parents didn't give a cent. It was brother Hangjun who helped build the mud brick house, and we still owe him 100 yuan. No more serving them. This time, what's mine, I'll take back. Just as I was about to flip the table, a warm sensation appeared before my eyes, and a virtual panel materialized out of thin air. Daily Intelligence System. Name, Zhou Hongqi. Occupation, Apprentice Hunter, Apprentice Fisherman. Intelligence 1. From 4 to 6 p.m. today, there are sea cucumbers, octopus, and other catches at the rocky beach south of Zhou Family Village. Intelligence 2. Wang Yuzhen has 150 yuan hidden in her cotton-padded jacket pocket. Intelligence 3. Zhou Minfu has 50 yuan of private money hidden under the insole of his right shoe. I looked closely, and the anger in my heart subsided a bit. The golden finger of rebirth had arrived. But when I looked at the intelligence content, the anger that had just subsided flared up again. They all had money hidden, Yet they came to rob my daughter's treatment money. I stood up and snorted. Mom, you have 150 yuan hidden in your jacket pocket, and you come here crying poor? Second brother, you're so generous. Why don't you take out the 50 yuan of private money under your insole? Wang Yuzhen's face changed drastically, and she clutched her pocket tightly. You little brat, what nonsense. There's no money at home. She turned and scolded the second brother. Second, you hid so much private money. Why didn't you take it out for your brother? Zhou Minfu shrank his head and complained. Mom, our family is so poor we're about to eat dirt. Where would I get private money? As he spoke, he backed away, his feet firmly on the ground. Without wasting words, I stepped forward and tripped him, then took off his right shoe. A foul stench hit my face. I pulled out the insole, and underneath was indeed a plastic bag. Zhou Minfu's face turned pale, and he reached out to grab it, but I dodged aside, opened the bag, and inside were neatly 5 great unity bills. Don't touch my money. He lunged at me with red eyes. I stepped aside and put the money in my pocket. It's mine now. Consider it part of the debt you owe me. You still owe me 50. Zhou Minfu panted heavily. That 100 was borrowed by Mom from you. Go ask her. Give mine back. Mom has 150 there, enough to pay you back. The more he spoke, the angrier he got. That old lady hid so much money and still came to him crying poor. Wang Yuzhen cursed loudly. Ungrateful wolf. I've spoiled you for nothing. You hid so much money and didn't take it out, and you dare to covet mine. Zhou Minxiang saw the money in my hand. His eyes widened, and he turned and reached for his mother's pocket. Before Wang Yuzhen could react, the cloth bag was snatched out. She grabbed it. You little bastard, let go. The two tugged, and the bag tore open, scattering a stack of bills on the ground. So there is money. Zhou Minxiang's eyes lit up, and he bent down to pick it up. Wang Yuzhen slapped him. Bastard. This is for your future wife. While they were fighting over it, I rushed over and scooped up the cloth bag into my arms. Wang Yuzhen stomped her feet like crazy. Quick, grab the money back. Zhou Minfu and Zhou Minxiang both lunged at me. The anger I had accumulated for decades exploded. I kicked Zhou Minfu over, grabbed Zhou Minxiang's arm, and slapped him twice. Damn it, you dared to call my daughter a money-losing proposition. I've been holding that in for a long time. Zhou Minxiang's face swelled instantly, and his speech was slurred. You dare hit me? Should have done it long ago. I took off my shoe and swung the sole at his face. This way my hand didn't hurt. In my previous life, when my daughter was abducted, someone in the village saw him sneaking home that day. Even when I broke his leg, he didn't admit it, but I knew in my heart it was him. New and old grudges settled together. I wouldn't stop until he cried for his mother. Wang Yuzhen saw her youngest son being beaten, and in distress, she slapped her thigh. You little brat. Is this how you act as an older brother? You dare hit me? I don't have a son like you. With that, she lunged at my face with a fierce expression. I turned my head sharply, my bloodshot eyes startling her into a shiver, and I pushed her away. She fell to the ground and wailed, slapping the ground. Murder! The unfilial son is killing his own mother. He robbed his mother's money and hid her. There's no justice. The door was already surrounded by neighbors who heard the commotion, and someone quickly helped Wang Yuzhen up. Hongqi is too reckless. How could he hit his own mother? No matter the reason, he shouldn't use violence, not afraid of divine retribution. The more people gathered, the louder Wang Yuzhen wailed, with snot and tears. And she even tried to run into the wall, but was naturally held back by the villagers who had anticipated it. I ignored her completely and continued to whip Zhou Minxiang with the shoe sole. He curled up on the ground, rolling around. He kept begging for mercy. Brother, stop hitting me. I was wrong. After I got tired of beating him, I grabbed the scissors on the table and directly cut open his pants. A cold wind rushed in, and Zhou Minxiang felt his lower parts shrink. Panicking, he kicked his legs and backed away. Brother, calm down. I still have to carry on the Zhou family line. I used the scissors to lift that shriveled little worm, my face full of ferocity. If you dare come cause trouble again, I'll make you a eunuch. I won't dare anymore. He scrambled and crawled behind Wang Yuzhen. Zhou Minfu, holding his kicked stomach, moved to the door before daring to speak. Zhou Hongqi, you even hit your mother. Are you still human? And you stole mother's money. I gave them a cold glance. If she died, that would be fine. We 3 brothers would split the money and give her a grand funeral. I know her tricks too well. She makes a fuss about dying but cherishes her life more than anyone. Wang Yuzhen was so angry she saw stars, pounding her chest and shouting. Unfilial son, I don't want this son anymore. Sever ties. From now on, don't even think about using the hunting rifle or the fishing boat. Let's see how you support That good-for-nothing girl. Sever ties. I asked, holding up the scissors. Are you sure? Sever ties. The Zhou family doesn't have a son like you. I smiled. That's great then. Everyone, bear witness. I, Zhou Hongqi, officially sever ties with their family today, never to interact again. But since we're severing ties, we need to settle the money they took from me. Second brother borrowed 100, paid back 50 today, still owes 50. Mother and third brother took 180, counted as paying back 150, still 30 left. Have the money ready within 3 days, not a cent less. Wang Yuzhen was stunned for a moment, then slapped the ground and threw a tantrum. Raising you for over 20 years is worse than raising a dog. You ungrateful bastard. Return the money you stole quickly. I gripped the scissors. You proposed severing ties, so it's better to settle clearly. Bring the money in 3 days and find the team leader to sign the agreement. Now get out of my house. If you make more trouble, ask my scissors if they'll allow it. Dealing with such people, you have to be tougher than them. The softer you are, the more they'll walk all over you. Only when they're beaten into submission will they dare not make a sound. Zhou Minfu opened his mouth, but seeing the scissors in my hand, he swallowed the words that reached his throat. He didn't dare ask for the 50 yuan that was taken. Zhou Minxiang was scared out of his wits, clamped his legs, helped up his still tantrum-throwing mother, and ran out. He stumbled over the threshold but didn't stop, got up and ran even faster. The villagers shook their heads and dispersed. This kid is really unfilial. Hit his mother, stole money, and severed ties. Without a hunting rifle or boat, how will he support his family of 3 in this deep winter? These words I cared about in my previous life. Now let them talk. When everyone was gone, only our family of 3 remained in the house. Xiaoying held our daughter, looking at me with red eyes. I walked over, took the daughter, and hugged the mother and daughter tightly in my arms. The emotions suppressed for over 40 years burst through the dam, and tears could no longer be held back. Xiaoying, following me all these years, you've suffered. In this life, I will definitely take good care of you and our daughter, and won't let you suffer any hardship. Xiaoying leaned against me and cried out. Being with you and the child, I don't feel wronged. The daughter reached out her little hand to wipe my tears and said in a baby voice, Dad, Mom, don't cry. I'll be good from now on. I broke into a smile through tears and gave her a big kiss on the cheek. She frowned and wiped off the saliva. It's prickly. My heart was full. The snow fell heavier and heavier, and the family of 3 went inside. Xiaoying touched the daughter's forehead and said that in the morning she went to the barefoot doctor, who said it was a bit inflamed, not serious, and a few days of injections would cure it. I looked outside, remembering the rocky beach mentioned by the intelligence system. Sea cucumbers and octopus are highly nutritious, perfect for nourishing the daughter, and the extra can be sold. I pulled out my cotton rubber shoes and put them on. Today is a big low tide. I'll go take a look at the beach. Xiaoying quickly pulled me back. It's already dark and snowing. Too dangerous. I put on the cape made from a fertilizer bag. Just going to wander on the mud flat. I'll be back soon. With that, I picked up the kerosene lamp, took the net bag, and plunged into the heavy snow. Zhou family village is located in southern Liaoning, nestled between mountains and sea. 2 kilometers from the mountains and less than 1 kilometer from the sea. I crunched through the snow heading south, the cold wind blowing snowflakes at me, walking for over half an hour. On the way, I met a few villagers returning from the sea. Seeing me heading to the beach, they all advised, the snow is getting heavy, don't go to the beach, it's too dangerous. I said I'd just wander around the edge, they couldn't persuade me. Shook their heads and left, muttering they'd go tell the team leader, so if something happened, they could rescue me. When I reached the rocky beach, the tide had receded extremely far. I opened the system panel to locate, and several crevices in the reefs were glowing red. Moving aside a reef, under the kerosene lamp, a large sea cucumber, a full 30 centimeters long, was nestled in the seawater. I scooped it up, the icy cold seawater sent a shiver through me. But the heavy feel in my hand made me grin. At least half a caddy can sell for 3 or 4 yuan. This year, sea cucumbers are 6 or 7 yuan a caddy, not a small amount. Continue turning over. Octopus, sea cucumbers, and small fish like sea fat fish and radish thread fish. Wherever the system pointed, I picked, catching one after another. Busy for over half an hour. I picked 6 large sea cucumbers of 20 to 30 centimeters, 9 octopuses of various sizes, and 2 or 3 caddies of assorted small fish. My hands and feet were numb from cold, but this harvest was worth it. I straightened up, shook the snow off the fertilizer bag, and headed back. Halfway, I met Zhou Hongqi leading the militia, holding kerosene lamps and rushing over anxiously. You kid, Zhou Hongqi scolded me as soon as he saw me. In such heavy snow, not staying home, coming to the sea, don't you want to live? Even if you don't think of yourself, think of Xiaoying and the child. My nose tingled. No one had cared about me like this in decades. Brother Jun, sorry for the trouble. There's nothing to eat at home. I wanted to pick some fish and shrimp to make soup for the child tomorrow. Zhou Hongqi sighed, thinking I came back empty-handed. Your sister-in-law picked some small fish during the day. Take them back later. Don't come out in such cold weather. I was about to speak when Zhou suddenly exclaimed, "Oh my God! It's sea cucumbers! An octopus! So big!" Several kerosene lamps all gathered, illuminating the net bag in my hand. Everyone's eyes widened. These sea cucumbers must be 20 to 30 centimeters. And so many octopuses, this big lump frozen together, must be several caddies. Can you pick so many in such heavy snow? Hongqi, where did you pick them? Zhou Hongqi was also stunned. These are bigger than the ones we catch at sea usually. I smiled. Lucky, the tide receded low. They were all left on the rocky beach. I turned over the reefs and picked them during low tide. Everyone was envious, slapping their thighs. Some even turned to look at the rocky beach, hesitating whether to go try their luck now. A gust of cold wind hit them. They shivered and immediately calmed down. In this damn weather, life is more important. Zhou Hongqi looked at me seriously. You too. Don't take risks next time. This time you were lucky, but it doesn't mean it'll always be. I assured repeatedly. Don't worry, Brother Jun. As I said, I grabbed a few frozen octopuses from the net bag and stuffed them into their hands. It's so cold. Sorry for the trouble. Take these to taste. They came to find me in such cold. That's real kindness. In this second life, I can't just focus on myself like before. These people in the village, especially warm-hearted ones like Brother Hongqi and Zhou, are worth getting along with. When I go out to sea or into the mountains, they can help look after the family. Zhou Hongqi didn't even look at the octopus and directly waved his hand. You worked hard to catch them. We can't take them. The others verbally refused, but their eyes kept staring at the octopus. They really had never caught such big octopus. Zhou Hongqi forcefully tore off several octopus and gave one to each of them. Including Zhou Hongqi, there were only 4 people in total. Taking a few octopus to build good relations with everyone is very worthwhile. Besides octopus, Zhou Hongqi also grabbed some small fish and stuffed them into everyone's hands. They braved danger and snow to find me, so I should thank them properly. The few declined, but couldn't refuse, grinning as they accepted. Hongqi is generous. If you need anything, just come to us. After seeing off the others, Zhou Hongqi took 2 octopus and stuffed them into Zhou Hongqi's arms. Brother Jun, take these home for the kids. Xiaoying is still waiting for me at home. I'm going back first. Zhou Hongqi didn't stop and headed home. Zhou Hongqi held the cold octopus and smiled. Cutting off the relationship wasn't all bad. Before, he could barely squeeze out a few words, but now he knew how to win people over. Zhou Hongqi carried a kerosene lamp in his left hand and a mesh bag in his right, and soon arrived at the doorstep. The house had no courtyard wall, only a wooden fence. Zhao Xiaoying sat in the outer room, occasionally opening the door to look outside, her face full of anxiety. It's been almost 2 hours. Why hasn't he come back? I have to go find him. Zhao Xiaoying glanced at her daughter sleeping soundly on the Kong, grabbed the burlap sack hanging on the wall, and pushed open the door to head to the beach. As soon as she opened the door, she saw Zhou Hongqi walking into the yard carrying a lamp. Zhao Xiaoying's tears streamed down, and she hurried over to greet him. Why are you back so late? Did something happen? Zhou Hongqi quickly explained. Nothing happened. I caught a lot of fish, and it took some time. It's cold outside. Let's go inside. Once inside, Zhou Hongqi proudly placed the mesh bag on the table. Seeing the sea cucumbers and octopus in the mesh bag, Zhao Xiaoying widened her eyes and couldn't help exclaiming. Sea cucumbers, octopus, and so many fish. Did you pick these up from the beach? How come there are so many? After saying this, she quickly covered her mouth, glanced at her daughter on the Kong to make sure she wasn't awake, and then relaxed. Zhou Hongqi took off his cotton rubber shoes, and while rubbing his cold feet, explained with a smile. The tide went out really low today, and I got lucky and picked up some extra. You're really skilled at beachcombing and fishing. You always get good catches. Zhao Xiaoying praised him, then brought over an enamel basin filled with warm water. She grabbed Zhou Hongqi's cold feet and placed them in the basin, her eyes full of concern. Soak your feet first. You were outside for so long. Your feet must be frozen. Feeling the warmth on his feet, Zhou Hongqi's eyes reddened. It's really good to have a wife. After soaking in warm water, his feet gradually regained feeling. Zhou Hongqi dried his feet, slipped on cloth shoes, and poured the foot-washing water outside the door. You must be hungry. Have some fish soup and a cornmeal cake. My daughter and I had 2 bowls, and we saved the rest for you." Zhou Hongqi lifted the pot lid and took out steaming fish soup and cornmeal cakes. To keep them warm, she added firewood to the stove every few minutes, which also heated the calm. Zhou Hongqi didn't mind the heat and ate the cornmeal cake with the fish soup. After a bowl of fish soup, his whole body finally warmed up. Zhou Hongqi put the octopus and small fish in a vat by the door to freeze. The sea cucumbers couldn't be stored for long. They needed to be processed quickly. Zhou Hongqi took scissors to remove the innards and sand mouth of the sea cucumbers, cut the tendons, and wash them clean with water. Zhao Xiaoying had already boiled water, and the pot was bubbling with steam. Zhou Hongqi poured the processed sea cucumbers into the hot water. They shrank from the heat, and the spines stood up slowly. After boiling for just 3 minutes, Zhou Hongqi scooped out the sea cucumbers, drained them, and froze them. Done. Tomorrow we'll make sea cucumber porridge. Zhou Hongqi dried his hands, locked the door, and got into bed, holding Zhao Xiaoying as they fell asleep. Early in the morning, Zhou Hongqi got up, took out the last bit of millet in the house, and cooked a pot of millet porridge. Just before it was done, he added sliced sea cucumber and simmered for a few minutes. Since his daughter's cold wasn't fully recovered and she couldn't eat too much, Zhou Hongqi only put in 1 sea cucumber. "Smells so good." Zhou Xiaowan, who had just gotten dressed and run out, stood on her tiptoes and curiously looked at the pot. Zhao Xiaoying cut some pickled vegetables and called Zhou Xiaowan to sit down. "Don't run around. Sit down and get ready to eat." Zhou Xiaofang climbed onto the Kong, looking back repeatedly, her eyes still on the door. Only when Zhou Hongqi brought the millet porridge did she clap her hands happily. "Time to eat. The millet porridge smells so good." Seeing the sea cucumber slices floating in the bowl, Zhao Xiaoying felt a bit distressed. "Sea cucumbers are so expensive. Just cook 1 bowl for our daughter. Sea cucumbers aren't cheap. One can sell for a lot of money. It's fine to use 1. You're weak and need to nourish yourself." Zhou Hongqi scooped 2 more slices of sea cucumber and put them in Zhao Xiaoying's bowl. Zhao Xiaoying quickly scooped them back. "You do heavy physical work all day. You need to eat more." To be honest, the millet porridge with sea cucumber tasted really good. After a bowl of sea cucumber millet porridge, his whole body felt warm. After eating and drinking, Zhou Hongqi was about to clear the dishes, but Zhao Xiaoying took them. "You watch our daughter. I'll wash the dishes and clean up." After eating, Zhou Xiaofang put on her shoes and was about to run outside. Zhou Hongqi pulled her back, dressed her in her cotton coat, and then went outside. It had snowed all night, but now it had stopped, and the ground was covered with thick white snow. Zhou Xiaowan stepped into it, and her entire foot was buried. Zhou Hongqi picked up the wooden shovel in the yard to clear the snow from the path. While clearing the snow, Zhou Hongqi opened the Daily Intelligence panel. The information had been updated. Daily Intelligence. Intel 1. A mother wild boar with piglets has gotten separated from the herd on Dingguzi Mountain. Intel 2. Sea cucumbers and abalone are hidden in the crevices of the rocks on Wangwe Island. Intel 3. A black bear that has come out of hibernation is active on Gobear Ridge. After reading the intel, Zhou Hongqi became interested. A mother wild boar with piglets is an excellent hunting target. Even if I can't get the mother, if I can catch a piglet, we won't lack meat this winter. Dingguzi Mountain isn't far from Zhou family village, about 2 hours away. If I walk fast, I can make a round trip in a day. The second intel is also good. It's rare to find sea cucumbers and abalone on Wangwe Island. Normally, at this time of year, sea cucumbers and abalone should have moved to deeper waters. It was already lucky to pick up a few sea cucumbers yesterday. I didn't expect there are more on Wangwe Island. Wangwe Island isn't far from the shore. It takes about an hour by boat from the village. Unfortunately, we don't have a boat, so I can't go there anytime soon. I can only hope the sea cucumbers and abalone stay on the island. Seeing the last intel, Zhou Hongqi's pupils contracted, and he couldn't help but gasp. A black bear. There's actually a black bear that has come out of hibernation on the nearby mountain. This thing is nothing like a wild boar. It's fierce. Even an experienced hunter might not be its match. Zhou Hongqi shook his head. He didn't even have a gun, so he didn't plan to provoke it. He needed to earn money to buy a gun first, then talk about hunting the black bear. The only option now was the first intel. This mother wild boar with piglets. Zhou Hongqi tapped the panel, and a mountain forest scene appeared. A huge mother wild boar was rooting in the snow with 3 yellow-haired piglets. Zhou Hongqi stroked his chin thoughtfully. This mother boar is indeed big, probably over 200 gene, and there are 3 piglets. With the bow at home, I should be able to get 1 piglet. In his previous life, he had hunted in the mountains a lot and was a good shot. Over the past 2 years, he had saved up to buy an elm bough, which he could use to hunt the boar. He didn't hope to kill the mother boar. Getting one piglet would be enough for meat. After taking his daughter to see the doctor, he would go into the mountains. With a plan in mind, he shoveled snow faster. After clearing a small path, Zhou Hongqi and Zhao Xiuying took their daughter out to see the doctor. Lu Huijin, who was clearing snow, approached with curiosity. Hongqi, I heard you went beachcombing last night and picked up a lot of sea cucumbers and octopus? She was the village gossip. Any news she knew would spread through the whole village within half a day. Zhou Hongqi vaguely replied, got lucky and caught a few fish. Lu Huijin clapped her hands. Oh my. So it's true. You're so lucky. I've never heard of anyone picking up sea cucumbers and octopus while beachcombing. Zhou Hongqi didn't say much and headed straight to the village barefoot doctor's house with his wife and daughter. No one had ever heard of anyone finding sea cucumbers or octopuses while beachcombing. Zhou Hongqi didn't say much and took his wife and daughter straight to the village barefoot doctor's house. Hearing the noise, the other villagers gathered around, chattering animatedly. Wow, this wasn't just beachcombing. Even going out to sea to fish might not yield sea cucumbers and octopus. I heard the sea cucumbers weigh half a jin each. One could sell for several yuan. Last night, seeing Hongqi braving the snow to go beachcombing, I thought he was going to his death, but I didn't expect such a big haul. Hongqi is really skilled at beachcombing. No wonder he's not afraid of cutting ties. Now Yuzhin's sister-in-law will be anxious, wondering if she'll still insist on cutting ties. Wang Yuzhin, who had just finished eating, heard the news and was so angry she almost smashed her bowl. Damn it, he took our money, leaving us to drink thin porridge, and now he's eating sea cucumbers. Zhou Minxiang rubbed his still swollen face, full of resentment. Mom, we need to get our money back. These sea cucumbers and octopus should be ours too. Wang Yuzhin glared at him. Go ahead and snatch it then? Remembering Zhou Hongqi's fierce look with the scissors, Zhou Minxiang shrank back. He didn't dare. If Zhou Hongqi really went crazy and cut him, how could he face people? But if they didn't get the money back, they wouldn't be satisfied. Zhou Minxiang pounded the Kong hard. Are we just going to let him bully us for nothing? Wang Yuzhin wiped her tears and accused. It's all your fault. You had to take money from my pocket. If you hadn't fought over it, the money wouldn't have fallen out. Zhou Minxiang retorted stubbornly. Blame the second brother. If he had given me the money he hid, I wouldn't have had to snatch it. Every time I asked him for money, he said he had none, but he hid 50 yuan in private savings. Wang Yuzhin suddenly stood up. The second brother is also an ungrateful wretch, having money but unwilling to part with it. I'll go call him, and we'll go find Chen Fugui together and make him force the eldest to hand over the money. We've raised the eldest for so many years, we can't raise him for nothing. Even if we cut ties, we must get the money back. Zhou Minxiang's eyes lit up. Good idea. No matter how fierce the eldest is, he won't dare act up in front of the team leader. Zhou Hongqi knew nothing of their scheme. He took his wife to see the doctor for their daughter. Barefoot Dr. Zhou Mingde felt Zhou Xiaofang's pulse and a smile appeared on his face. She's recovering well. Give her an 4 drip for a couple more days, and she'll be fine soon. Zhou Hongqi breathed a sigh of relief. He trusted the old man's medical skills. Zhou Mingde was originally a military doctor in the army, skilled in both Chinese and Western medicine. Hearing that she needed another injection, Zhou Xiaofang's little face scrunched up. Grandpa, can I skip the injection? Xiaofang is afraid of pain. Zhou Mingde smiled and patted Zhou Xiaofang's head. After the injection, you'll be better. Grandpa will give you a gentle one. The 4 drip would take a while, so Zhou Hongqi planned to go into the mountains first. Zhao Xiuying, full of worry, grabbed Zhou Hongqi's sleeve. It had just snowed, and there was no hunting rifle at home. Maybe you shouldn't go into the mountains for now. It's too dangerous. Zhou Hongqi whispered to reassure her. I'll bring my bow and arrows. Just wander around the outskirts and hunt a few pheasants and hares. Stay home with our daughter. Don't let her out of your sight, and don't let her near Mom or Minfu and Minxiang. If anything happens, find Han Junji. I'll be back this afternoon. They had their money taken. They definitely won't let it go. They might take revenge on his wife and daughter. In his previous life, his daughter was abducted by Zhou Minxiang. But with Zhou Hongjun keeping an eye out, they probably wouldn't dare make a move anytime soon. Zhao Xiuying knew Zhou Hongqi's personality, so she just gave a few brief reminders and didn't persuade him further. Zhou Hongqi went to Zhou Hongjuan's house and asked him to help look after the family. Then he returned home, took down the bow and arrows hanging on the wall, put on his cotton hat, tied his leggings, grabbed a machete, and headed toward the mountain forest. Last night, Zhou Hongqi picked up sea cucumbers and octopus, which really made the villagers envious. Many were jealous. Seeing Zhou Hongqi carrying a bow and arrows into the mountains, The villagers started gossiping again. Zhou Hongqi is going into the mountains, right? It just snowed, and he only has a bow and arrows. Isn't he afraid of encountering wild beasts? Who says so? Just after saying he was lucky and picked up a lot of good stuff from the sea, why is he thinking of going into the mountains again? The mountains are much more dangerous than the sea. If you're not careful, you could be attacked by wild beasts. Recently, hunters who went into the mountains had no luck. He just ran into the mountains with a bow and arrows. He must have a problem with his head. Besides, it just snowed, so the wild beasts in the mountains won't run around. There aren't even any footprints. How can he track down prey? Even if he goes into the mountains, it'll be a wasted trip. Never mind him. Let's go to the beach and see if we can pick up some fish. Zhou Hongqi trudged through the snow, walking 2 kilometers in the snow before reaching the forest. Looking at the endless forest, Zhou Hongqi caught his breath and rested for a while. Dichgao Mountain was deep in the forest, and he still had to walk more than an hour on the mountain path. Zhou Hongqi identified the direction, used his machete to cut a wooden stick, and walked into the mountain with the stick. The wind and snow were stronger in the mountains, and everything was covered in white snow. Looking out, it was a vast expanse of white, dazzling the eyes. Zhou Hongqi squinted and slowly walked forward in the snow. The cold wind swept with fine snow, branches rustled, and snow fell from time to time. Brushing off the snow on him, Zhou Hongqi couldn't help but tighten his cotton coat. This damn weather is really cold. After walking for over an hour, Zhou Hongqi rubbed his hands and looked at the grass nest not far away. His eyesight was very good, and he saw pheasant footprints beside the grass nest at a glance. Looking closely at the grass nest, there were actually 2 pheasants hidden inside. Zhou Hongqi curled his lips slightly and took off the bow and arrows on his back. Let's practice with these 2 pheasants first. Zhou Hongqi crept closer to the grass nest until he stopped at a distance of more than 30 meters. At this distance, he was confident he could shoot through a pheasant with 1 arrow. Zhou Hongqi hid behind a tree trunk, set up his bow, and aimed at the pheasants in the grass nest. Bang! Before he could shoot, a gunshot came from deep in the mountains. Zhou Hongqi was startled, and the bow and arrow in his hand shot out directly. The pheasants in the grass nest were also startled by the gunshot, and flapped their wings and flew away. Zhou Hongqi's face turned pale, and he drew his bow and shot again, but only a few feathers remained. Watching the pheasants fly out of sight, Zhou Hongqi couldn't help but curse. Damn! The pheasants that were within reach flew away. Looking in the direction of the gunshot, Zhou Hongqi couldn't help but frown. It seemed to be the location of Dichgao Mountain. Could someone be hunting wild boars? Zhou Hongqi opened the intelligence panel, and sure enough, the scene on it had changed. He saw a yellow-haired boar lying on the snow, its bright red blood staining the snow, clearly no longer breathing. The huge female wild boar stared with bloodshot eyes, glaring at a dead tree nearby. On the tree hid a young man with a terrified expression. His eyes looked at the Type 56 semi-automatic rifle on the snow, his eyes full of regret. Zhou Hongqi immediately understood that he must have been hunting the yellow-haired boar, but he didn't expect to be targeted by the female wild boar, and in a panic, he lost his gun. Without a gun, it would be hard to survive against the enraged female wild boar. Zhou Hongqi didn't waste time and quickly walked toward Dichgao Mountain. They were both hunters. Since he encountered this, he should save him if he could. If he was lucky, he might even be able to take down this sow. He wasn't far from Dinguzi, and after another 10+ minutes of walking, he entered Dinguzi Mountain. Guided by the intelligence panel, he soon spotted the young man fleeing in panic. Seeing Zhou Hongqi approaching, the young man quickly waved and shouted, "Brother, run! A wild boar is chasing me." As soon as he finished speaking, a sow burst out of the woods. Its massive body kicked up a flurry of snow, and its bloodshot eyes were unsettling. The young man stumbled and fell into a snow pit. The charging sow only sped up. As the sow grew larger in his vision, the young man's eyes filled with utter despair. He shouldn't have sneaked up the mountain to hunt. He had managed to hit the boar, but now he was about to pay with his life. At the critical moment, Zhou Hongqi, without responding, swiftly drew his bow. With a whoosh, the arrow reached the mother boar in the blink of an eye. Thud! The sharp arrow directly hit the mother boar's front leg. The injured mother boar lost its balance and narrowly rushed past the young man. Strike while the iron is hot. Zhou Hongqi drew out an arrow and aimed at the mother boar again. The mother boar was very alert and did not linger to fight. It endured the pain and fled into the forest. The arrow hit the tree trunk firmly, its fletching trembling. Zhou Hongqi muttered a pity and did not chase after it. He quickly came to the young man's side and helped him up. "Are you okay? Were you hurt anywhere vital?" Chu Shengli gasped for breath, a smile of surviving a disaster on his face. He excitedly grabbed Zhou Hongqi's arm. Thank you so much, brother. I almost lost my life. I could even smell the stench from the boar's mouth just now. It was damn dangerous. After mumbling a lot, Chu Xingli climbed out of the snow pit. That mother boar really holds a grudge. It's terrifying. It even broke a tree. If I hadn't run fast, I'm afraid it would have rammed me to death. He patted his chest and looked at the direction the mother boar left with lingering fear. Zhou Hongqi comforted him. As long as you're safe. After resting for a while, Chu Xingli's emotions calmed down. Brother, I don't have much money on me. To express my gratitude, I'll give you the gun I brought and the wild boar I hunted. When I go down the mountain, I'll bring money to thank you. Zhou Hongqi waved his hand. We're both hunters. We should help each other in the mountains. Chu Xingli said seriously. That's true, but you did save my life. I'm not someone who forgets kindness. I must repay it. As he said this, he and Zhou Hongqi walked up the mountain to the hunting spot. He picked up the cold Type 56 rifle and stuffed it into Zhou Hongqi's arms, then pointed to the wild boar not far away. Brother, this Type 56 and the wild boar are yours. Zhou Hongqi quickly returned the Type 56. This is too valuable. I can't accept it. If you really want to thank me, give me some boar meat. Even a second-hand Type 56 would cost several hundred yuan. He didn't dare accept it. But he could keep some boar meat. After all, he came to the mountain to hunt wild boar. The mother boar had run off with the piglet somewhere, and even if he chased, he might not catch up. He could only wait for tomorrow's intel update to see if he could find them again. After some back and forth, Zhou Hongqi still didn't accept the gun. Seeing this, Chu Xingli had to compromise and left all the piglets to Zhou Hongqi. His family wasn't short on money. He only hunted for fun. After going down the mountain, he would find a chance to repay the life-saving favor. This time Zhou Hongqi didn't refuse and drew his knife to process the boar. This piglet was quite big, at least 100 jin. Zhou Hongqi gutted it, took out the intestines, and hung them on a tree. This is the hunting rule, to pay respects to the mountain god. Actually, it's also a way to attract wild animals. If they encounter beasts, they will be attracted by the organs hanging on the tree. Hunters can also escape smoothly. After processing the boar, Zhou Hongqi carried it on his shoulder and waved to Chu Xingli. It's getting late. Let's head down the mountain. Chu Xingli naturally wouldn't refuse. Today had really scared him. If it weren't for waiting for Zhou Hongqi, he would have gone down earlier. Listening to the howling wind in the forest, Chu Xingli couldn't help but grip his gun tightly, feeling more at ease. How about we split the boar and carry it together? Zhou Hongqi smiled and shook his head. It's not heavy. I can carry it. The mountain is dangerous. You'll be safer holding the gun. The two chatted as they made their way down the mountain. Through the conversation, Zhou Hongqi learned Chu Xingli's identity. He was actually the deputy section chief of the military affairs section of the County Armed Forces Department, which really surprised Zhou Hongqi. No wonder he could bring a Type 56 into the mountain to hunt and offer to give it away. It turned out he was in charge of guns. In this era, that was definitely a lot of power. Most importantly, he became a deputy section chief before 30. That shows both his ability and background are not bad. Building a good relationship with him would be a good choice. The two walked out of the forest and sat on the open ground, gasping for breath. After resting a bit, Chu Xingli put his arm around Zhou Hongqi's shoulder. Brother, you saved my life. If you need anything in the future, just come to me. As long as I can do it, I won't hesitate. I still have some things to do, so I'll visit Zhou family village another day. After chatting a bit, he took the Type 56 and headed towards the nearby Tuanjia village. Although Zhou Hongqi didn't know why Chu Xingli was going there, he didn't ask. He carried the boar and headed straight to Zhou family village. He was in a very good mood for bringing back a boar from the mountain. When he met villagers in the village, he greeted them happily. Seeing the piglet Zhou Hongqi was carrying, the villager who was about to reply widened his eyes. Damn, a boar? Hongqi, did you hunt this from the mountain? You can hunt wild boar with a bow and arrow. Your hunting skills are no worse than your fishing skills. In just one morning, you brought back a boar, more efficient than the village hunters. The boar looks quite fat, probably close to 100 jin. Amid the compliments, Zhou Hongqi carried the boar back home. Zhao Xiaoying, who was about to cook, saw the boar he carried back and couldn't hide her shock. Dear, did you hunt this from the mountain? It's really big. Zhou Hongqi threw the boar in the yard and gasped for breath. He ran back into the house, drank some warm water, and then briefly explained. Hearing that Zhou Hongqi had driven off a mother boar to save someone, Zhao Xiaoying exclaimed. You even encountered a mother boar? That's too dangerous. Seeing no wounds on Zhou Hongqi, she breathed a sigh of relief. Is the person you saved okay? Zhou Hongqi replied with a smile. Nothing serious. He should be home by now. I'll clean up the boar first, and we'll have boar stew tonight. Zhou Xiaofeng's mouth watered, and she jumped with joy. We're having meat tonight. Zhou Hongqi laughed and picked her up. I'll make sure you have meat every day. News spread quickly in the village. When Zhou Hongqi returned to the yard to process the boar, many villagers had already gathered outside. They stared at the boar on the ground with envy. In this era, everyone craved meat. A boar had at least dozens of gene of meat. And if they could get a pound or two, they could satisfy their cravings at night. Wang Yuzhen heard the news and also brought Zhou Minfu and Zhou Minxiang over. This ungrateful brat. Why didn't he die on the mountain? And he even caught a boar. Zhou Minxiang wiped the drool from his mouth. Mom, I haven't had meat in days. Let's take the whole boar home. Zhou Minfu said worriedly. The team leader said leaders are coming to inspect the village in a couple of days. If we cause trouble, will the team leader agree? And the eldest is going to cut ties with us. What if he drives us away with a knife again? Wang Yuzhen snorted. He wouldn't dare. I went to the team leader today, and he didn't agree to us cutting ties. He said the county leaders are in Tuanjia village, so Zhou Hongqi definitely won't dare to act. A whole boar, nearly 100 gene, is enough for us to eat all winter. When they arrived at Zhou Hongqi's doorstep, the village loafer Chen Erpeo, with his hands in his sleeves, swaggered into the yard. His eyes were full of greed as he looked at the boar. Hongqi, you're lucky, you even caught a boar. It's freezing. Let us give you a hand and help you process the boar. Just give us a little meat afterwards. The others also followed in, staring at the boar. Come on, everyone help, and we'll split the boar in no time. Hongqi is generous. He won't let us work for nothing. Zhou Hongqi chopped the boar's neck with his knife, splattering bone fragments. Without looking up, he replied, No need. If you want pork, go hunt it yourself. Chen Erpeo wasn't annoyed and grinned as he reached for the pig's head. Hunting has a rule. Everyone present gets a share. You can't finish such a big wild boar by yourself, so why not share it with everyone? Zhou Hongqi pointed his knife at the crowd, and pig blood dripped onto the snow, spreading a touch of red. The money you have saved at home can't be spent either, so why don't you take it out and share it? Get out now and don't delay my business. He's not one to hog things, but sharing meat depends on the person. For these loafers, you can't give them a friendly face, or they'll just get bolder. Over the years, they've had plenty of laughs at his expense. Chen Erpeo's face flushed red, and he quickly withdrew his hand. How can that be the same? You won't even share meat from a wild boar you hunted. You're so stingy. I see there's a gunshot wound on the boar. Could it be that you picked up someone else's kill? Seeing Zhou Hongqi unwilling to share the meat, they immediately changed their tune. That's right. He went into the mountains with a bow and arrows. So where did the gunshot wound come from? He must have picked up someone else's prey. I knew he couldn't have killed a boar with a bow and arrows. I wonder which hunter is so unlucky that his hard-earned boar was picked up. This guy is really rotten. No wonder Aunt Yuzhen cut ties with him. Wang Yuzhen pushed through the crowd, glaring at them. What nonsense are you talking? We haven't cut ties. Eldest, send the boar to my house and return the money you robbed, and I'll forgive you this time. Otherwise, when the county leaders come, I'll definitely file a complaint against you. Zhou Hongqi shook his head with a wry smile. It's me who hasn't forgiven you. Go ahead and complain if you want. It's a good chance for the county leaders to witness our severing of ties. Once the county leaders hear what you've done, they'll definitely agree. Wang Yuzhen widened her eyes, put her hands on her hips, and spat as she spoke. What have we done? You unfilial son robbed money and hit people. Look at how you beat your second brother. His eyes are swollen and he can't see clearly. Let the leaders arrest you and lock you in a dark room. Zhou Hongqi sneered and leaned close to Zhou Minxiang's ear. Last month, you peeped at Widow Xie and Chun Fugui sleeping together. After he left, you impersonated him and slept with Widow Xie. You also often peeped at his wife bathing. How do you think he'll treat you if he finds out? He had overheard Zhou Minxiang bragging about this in his previous life, and it was perfect for blackmailing him. Zhou Minxiang's pupils contracted at the words, and he staggered back. You, how do you know? Zhou Hongqi continued to threaten. I know more than that. You'd better take mother away and prepare the money you owe. Otherwise, I'll spill everything you've done, one by one. Zhou Minxiang's face turned pale. He thought he had been very discreet, and even Widow Xie didn't know it was him. How did Zhou Hongqi find out? The team leader is ruthless. If he found out that I slept with his mistress, Widow Xie, and peeped at his wife bathing, he'd probably skin me alive. He quickly grabbed Wang Yuzhen's arm and urged her to leave. Mom, I'm a bit cold. Let's go home for dinner first. Wang Yuzhen shook off his arm, plopped down on the snow, and started wailing and throwing a tantrum. Go home. Let the whole village judge. Zhou Hongqi, you ungrateful wolf. You don't care about your mother. I might as well die. Living only brings ridicule. Chen Fugui walked over with a grim face. What's the fuss now? What did I tell you this morning? Behave for the next couple of days. Wait until the leaders finish their inspection before anything else. Wang Yuzhen cried even harder, kicking the snow with her legs. Team leader, it's this unfilial son who won't let me live. Let me just crash into a tree and die, so the leaders can see how Zhou Hongqi drove his mother to death. Chen Fugui clenched his fists, his eyes blazing with anger. Just as he was about to speak, a plump woman ran over, panting heavily. It was Chen Fugui's wife, Su Guihong. Honey, there's a truck at the village entrance, and it looks quite important. At the same time, several figures got off a Jiefeng brand truck parked at the entrance of Zhou family village. The first to get off was Chu Shengli, whom Zhou Hongqi had saved. He hung his head, looking displeased. A middle-aged man in a military green cotton coat exhaled cold air and asked, "Is this Zhou family village?" A man beside him nodded and replied obsequiously, "Yes, Director Chu, the Zhou Hongqi you're looking for lives here." A truck came? Could it be the leaders coming for inspection? Chen Fugui's expression changed, and he turned to go greet them. After taking 2 steps, he turned back. "Zhou Hongqi, Wang Yuzhen, end this farce immediately. If the leaders see you making a scene, don't blame me for being ruthless." Wang Yuzhen glared, wanting to retort, but seeing the authority on Chen Fugui's face, she held back. After all, Chen Fugui was the production team leader. If she truly offended him, life would be hard in the future. Zhou Minxiang also urged, "Mom, let the team leader entertain the leaders first. Anyway, the boar is so big that eldest can't finish it. We'll come back for it after the leaders leave." Wang Yuzhen wiped the tears from her face and glared fiercely at Zhou Hongqi. "You little bastard, you'd better send the pork to our house, or this isn't over." Chen Fugui breathed a sigh of relief and waved to the crowd. "Don't gather here. Come with me to welcome the leaders. Let the county leaders see the vibrant and progressive spirit of our Zhou family village." As he spoke, he tugged at his clothes and adjusted his hat. He trotted all the way to the village entrance. Sure enough, he saw a Jiefeng brand truck parked there, with several figures standing beside it. Among them, the one bowing and smiling apologetically was the commune leader, Hu Dequan. Chen Fugui's pupils contracted. For the commune leader to be so careful in accompanying him, he must be a big shot from the county. He rubbed his face, put on a bright smile, and went up to greet them. "Hello, leaders. I'm Chen Fugui, the production team leader of Zhou family village. Welcome, leaders, for your inspection." The commune leader pointed to the middle-aged man in the middle and introduced, "This is Director Chu of the Fisheries Bureau." Before he could finish, Chu Weiguo waved his hand. "No need for such a fuss. I'm here on personal business. Xiaohu, you wait in the car. Shengli and I will go find Zhou Hongqi." "Looking for Zhou Hongqi? I'll lead the way for the leader." Chen Fugui quickly chimed in. Chu Weiguo didn't refuse. Having a villager lead the way was more convenient. Chu Shengli carried the cloth-wrapped Type 56 semi-automatic rifle and followed behind Chu Weiguo with his head down. Hu Dequan didn't foolishly stay behind either. He followed with quick, small steps. The villagers were bursting with curiosity and whispered among themselves, covering their mouths. "Which leader is this?" The team leader is almost acting like a lackey. Not just the team leader. Even the commune leader is smiling obsequiously. "It must be a county leader from the Fisheries Bureau, I heard. How does Zhou Hongqi know such a leader? And why are they specifically looking for him?" It might not be good news. The leader's face doesn't look too happy. Could it be that Hongqi offended the leader and they've come to settle the score? As they were talking, Chen Fugui had already brought the people to Zhou Hongqi's home. Zhou Hongqi, who was still processing the boar, was startled. "Why so many people?" Chen Fugui introduced with a beaming smile. "Leader, this is Zhou Hongqi, the one you're looking for." Chu Weiguo nodded slightly. "You all wait outside. I have some personal matters to discuss with him." Seeing the leader enter the yard, Chen Fugui sidled up to Hu Dequan and asked in a low voice, "Director Hu, what did Zhou Hongqi do? Why did the leader come personally to find him?" Hu Dequan shot him a glare. "I was about to ask you." After inspecting Tuanjietan, Director Chu suddenly looked displeased and said he wanted to find Zhou Hongqi. "I didn't dare ask. I just brought him here." Cold sweat broke out on Chen Fugui's forehead, and he couldn't help cursing under his breath. Damn Zhou Hongqi, did he offend the leader? He's got some nerve. "Director Hu, rest assured, I'll severely punish Zhou Hongqi to vent the leader's anger." Hu Dequan waved his hand impatiently. "Stop the nonsense and just wait for the leader to come out." The villagers overheard their conversation and showed looks of realization. "I knew it. So Zhou Hongqi didn't know a county leader. He offended one. Then we should stay away from him so we don't get dragged into it. He's really out of his mind to offend a county leader. Those county leaders are not to be trifled with. One word from them, and we could lose our livelihoods." Zhou Minxiang waved his hands happily. Great. I hope the county leader arrests him and gives him a good lesson. Wang Yuzhen snorted coldly. Serves him right. Zhou Minfu tugged at Wang Yuzhen's clothes worriedly. Mom, will the county leaders take their anger out on us? 2 years ago, someone in the neighboring commune offended a county leader, and the whole family was locked up. The smile on Wang Yuzhen's face instantly disappeared, and she couldn't help but curse. Damn Zhou Hongqi. If he gets himself into trouble, he should just die, but he's dragging us down too. Zhou Minxiang muttered. Mom, we need to sever ties with him quickly. Once we do, even if the county leaders want revenge, they'll only go after him. Right. Wang Yuzhen nodded repeatedly. We'll sever ties. We'll go find him as soon as they leave. As they spoke, Chu Weiguo and Chu Shengli had already been invited into the house by Zhou Hongqi. Zhou Hongqi took out the only 2 can jars and poured 2 cups of plain boiled water. The house is a bit simple. I hope Uncle Chu doesn't mind. Chu Weiguo waved his hand. Don't be polite. I came this time to thank you for saving Shengli. This kid is reckless, sneaking into the mountains alone with a gun. He's my only nephew. If something happened to him, I wouldn't be able to explain to the family. At the thought, his hands trembled, and he glared fiercely at Chu Shengli. Chu Shengli didn't dare raise his head, afraid of being scolded again. Zhou Hongqi replied modestly, It was my duty. When you encounter danger in the mountains, you should help each other. Brother Chu already thanked me on the mountain, and he even killed the wild boar in the yard. Chu Weiguo pulled out a wad of cash from his pocket. A life-saving favor can't be repaid with just a wild boar. I came in a hurry and didn't buy anything. Keep this money to buy something for your family. Zhou Hongqi didn't even look at it and pushed the money back. Uncle Chu, I can't take this money. A wild boar is already very precious. No matter how Chu Weiguo tried to persuade him, Zhou Hongqi refused the money. He saved people out of his own heart, not for money. Seeing this, Chu Weiguo had to put the money away and signaled Chu Shengli to leave the gun. If you won't take the money, then keep this gun. Since you're a hunter, you can use it for hunting. Zhou Hongqi wanted to refuse again, but Chu Weiguo stopped him. If you won't take the money and you won't keep the gun, people will think our Chu family doesn't know gratitude. If you keep the gun, Shengli won't have to think about going into the mountains anymore. Chu Shengli also urged, Hongqi, just keep it. My life is worth more than a gun. Zhou Hongqi then stopped refusing and kept the Type 56 semi-automatic rifle. In the future, when he went hunting in the mountains, it would be safer. Chu Shengli also thoughtfully prepared nearly 100 bullets. Uncle Chu, Brother Chu, stay for dinner tonight. We just butchered a wild boar. Let's make a pork stew. Chu Weiguo politely declined. We have things to do tonight, so we won't stay long. He had just finished an inspection at Tuanjia village and still had to return to the county to report to his superiors. I'll find time to go hunting with you in the mountains later. As Chu Shengli left, he winked at Zhou Hongqi. Clearly, he hadn't given up on the idea of hunting. Chu Weiguo didn't let Zhou Hongqi see them off. He didn't want to make a big deal of it. A deputy section chief of the Armed Forces Department's Military Affairs section and the nephew of the deputy director of the Fisheries Bureau nearly got killed by a wild boar while hunting in the mountains. That wouldn't sound good if it got out. Watching Chu Weiguo and Chu Shengli leave, the villagers became more convinced of their suspicions. Many had already decided to stay far away from Zhou Hongqi's family to avoid being implicated. Zhou Hongqi, you're always causing me trouble. Tell me the truth. How did you offend the county leaders? After seeing off Chu Weiguo, Chen Fugue ran back to Zhou Hongqi's house, his face full of anger. He unbuttoned the top button of his cotton jacket and pointed at Zhou Hongqi, cursing. When did I offend any leaders? Zhou Hongqi put down the knife in his hand and asked in confusion. Chen Fugue was so angry he laughed. The leader came to your door, and you still dare to deny it. He's the deputy director of the County Fisheries Bureau. With one word, he could make it so our village can't sell any fish we catch. You're really audacious, daring to offend even him. The villagers watching were startled, and their eyes toward Zhou Hongqi were full of resentment. If Zhou Hongqi, this scourge, causes the village to lose money, we're not done with him. No wonder the team leader is so angry. The deputy director of the Fisheries Bureau is not someone we can afford to offend. Why don't we drive Zhou Hongqi out of the village, so he doesn't drag us down? Zhou Hongjun tried to smooth things over. Team leader, could there be a mistake? The leader didn't do anything to Zhou Hongqi, so maybe he's not here to settle scores. Chen Fugue gritted his teeth and shouted. You're still defending him. What status does that leader have? He wouldn't need to take revenge in person. He doesn't even have to say a word. There are plenty of people who would act for him. Hearing the crowd's discussion, Zhou Hongqi suddenly understood what was going on. They thought he had offended Chu Weiguo and were afraid of being implicated. Only then did he learn that Chu Weiguo was actually the deputy director of the Fisheries Bureau. Zhou Hongqi shook his head helplessly but didn't explain much. Team leader, Director Chu, is magnanimous and didn't take offense at me. He won't implicate the village. Really? Chen Fugui wiped the cold sweat from his forehead and let out a long breath. Hongqi, I'm not saying this to criticize you, but you have a wife and daughter. Don't go looking for trouble all day. Earning money and supporting your family is the real priority. After giving a few more reminders, Chen Fugui turned to leave. Team leader, don't leave yet. Wang Yuzhen ran over, panting, and waved at Chen Fugui. Seeing Wang Yuzhen, Chen Fugui's head ached. He was afraid of Wang Yuzhen. Every time something happened, she would throw a fit. She had just come to see him in the morning, and now she was back. He didn't want to deal with her. Team leader, be a witness for us. Today we sever ties with Zhou Hongqi. Sever ties. Chen Fugui frowned slightly, but wasn't surprised. Since Zhou Hongqi had offended the deputy director of the Fisheries Bureau, even he didn't want to have anything to do with Zhou Hongqi. Zhou Hongjun said disapprovingly, Auntie, is it necessary to distance yourself from Hongqi so quickly? Wang Yuzhen snorted. It was Zhou Hongqi who suggested it. This unfilial son, this ungrateful wolf, I raised him for nothing all these years. Zhou Hongqi curled his lips slightly, not expecting such a bonus. If you want to sever ties, have you prepared the 80 yuan you owe? You still dare to ask for money. Wang Yuzhen's voice rose several notches. I raised you for over 20 years. You should be the one paying. Zhou Hongqi shrugged. It's only natural to pay back what you owe. If you don't pay, then if the leader comes to settle scores with me someday, I'll say you told me to do it. If we're going to die, we'll die together. You. Wang Yuzhen pointed at Zhou Hongqi viciously, furious. The villagers watching shook their heads, even more disapproving of Zhou Hongqi. What a bastard. He did wrong, and still wants to drag Aunt Yuzhen into it. Why keep someone like him in the village? Kick him out. I never noticed Hongqi was such a rogue. He's nothing but a good-for-nothing. Zhou Lei frowned and interjected. Brother Hongqi isn't like that. He must have his reasons. Some people nodded in agreement. Yuzhen hasn't treated Hongqi well, so it's understandable he has complaints. But after severing ties, I wonder if Hongqi can support his family of 3. Zhou Minxiang tugged at Wang Yuzhen's sleeve. Mom, give him the money we scraped together. The eldest is crazy now, biting anyone he sees. Wang Yuzhen glared at Zhou Hongqi, gritting her teeth, and pulled out a wad of cash from her pocket, throwing it at Zhou Hongqi. You little bastard, let's see if you live to spend it. Zhou Hongqi didn't mind and picked up the money one by one from the ground. There were whole 10 yuan notes, and also 1 yuan and 2 yuan bills. It seemed he had underestimated them. They had scraped together the 80 yuan so quickly. Zhou Minfu turned away in pain, unable to watch. To gather this money, his mother had almost gotten into a fight with his wife. Zhou Hongqi put away the money and took out 3 pre-prepared severance agreements from his chest. Zhou Hongjun grabbed Zhou Hongqi's hand and tried to persuade him. Hongqi, have you really thought it through? Once you sign the severance agreement, there's no turning back. Zhou Hongqi said firmly. Brother Hongjun, I must sever this tie. Zhou Hongjun sighed deeply and didn't persuade him further. Under Chen Fugui's witness, Zhou Hongqi and Wang Yuzhen signed the severance agreements and pressed their fingerprints. Chen Fugui held up the agreement and announced, from today on, Zhou Hongqi and Wang Yuzhen are completely severed, and will have no further dealings with each other. Wang Yuzhen put away one copy of the agreement and pointed at Zhou Hongqi, cursing. From now on, the Zhou family has no son like you. Your life and death have nothing to do with us. Zhou Hongqi didn't even look at her. He took the severance agreement and headed home. Wang Yuzhen's hands trembled with anger. Unfilial son. I won't even have the face to face the Zhou ancestors when I die. Zhou Minxiang and Zhou Minfu supported her arms on either side. Mom, it's cold outside. Let's go home first. Don't ruin your health over that bastard eldest son. Chen Fugui was too lazy to get involved in their family affairs. He directly handed a copy of the severance agreement to Zhou Hongjun. Keep an eye on Zhou Hongqi. Don't let him cause any more trouble. If he affects the village because of this, I can't protect him. Zhou Hongjun nodded and carefully put away the severance agreement. He turned to look at Zhou Hongqi, who was back in the yard dealing with the wild boar, and sighed as he headed home. The crowd dispersed, leaving only the sound of Zhou Hongqi chopping the wild boar in the yard. Zhao Xiuying came to the yard, her eyes full of heartache as she grabbed Zhou Hongqi's hand. Husband, you still have me and our daughter. Zhou Hongqi grinned. I'm fine. Severing ties is also a relief. It's getting late. Let's go inside and stew the pork. In this era, people usually ate 2 meals a day. This meal was basically dinner. Zhou Hongqi cut a large piece of pork, took a cabbage from the cellar, and stewed a big pot of pork and cabbage. Thick slices of meat floated on top of the dish, making mouths water. Zhou Xiaofeng ate with greasy lips. Dad, Mom, the pork is so delicious. Zhou Hongqi picked up a piece of pork for her and promised with a smile. From now on, we'll eat pork every day. Zhou Xiaofeng clapped her hands happily. Great. I love pork the most. Zhao Xiuying wiped the tears from her eyes. This life is truly good. After dinner, the sky had darkened. Zhou Hongqi stood up and loosened his belt. Xiuying, I'll take a pig leg to brother Hongjun and return the money I owe him. I'll also invite him to go into the mountains with me tomorrow to see if we can take down that injured sow. Zhou Hongqi carried the pig leg to Zhou Hongjuan's doorstep and knocked. Brother Hongjun, are you home? The door was opened by Zhou Hongjuan's wife, Meng Shuqin. Seeing it was Zhou Hongqi, she warmly invited him in. It's Hongqi. Come in quickly. It's cold outside. She didn't distance herself from Zhou Hongqi because he had offended the county leaders. Zhou Hongqi placed the pig leg on the table. Sister-in-law, I brought you a wild boar leg. Stew it for Xiaoxia and Xiaolei. You came, and you brought something. Meng Shuqin said that, but her face was already full of smiles. This pig leg was not small and still had ribs. Although their family was not badly off, they could only afford meat a limited number of times each month. Zhou Yunxia and Zhou Yunxing, who were eating, stared at the pig leg with longing, and the dishes in their bowls no longer seemed appetizing. Zhou Hongjun didn't look at the pig leg. With furrowed brows, he pulled Zhou Hongqi aside. Hongqi, what did you talk about with Director Chu today? How did you offend him? I know some leaders in the county. How about I make an introduction and you go apologize in person? I've heard Director Chu is a decent person. There should be a chance to resolve this. Zhou Hongqi smiled wryly. Brother Jun, I didn't offend Director Chu. He briefly explained what happened on the mountain today, and Zhou Hongjuan's mouth hung open in disbelief. He widened his eyes and exclaimed, You saved Chu Shengli, the Deputy Section Chief of the Military Affairs Section of the Armed Forces Department, on the mountain. And he's Director Chu's nephew? Director Chu came this time to thank you. And he gave you a Type 56 semi-automatic rifle. Zhou Hongqi nodded with a smile. Wait, let me take a moment. Zhou Hongjun sat on the stool, unable to calm down for a long time. He raised his right hand and lightly tapped Zhou Hongqi's chest. Good boy. You've really outdone yourself this time. You've become the lifesaver of Director Chu's nephew. And you didn't even explain. We were worried for nothing. Zhou Hongqi said apologetically. I only learned about Director Chu's identity when you told me. The team leader came up and gave me a scolding. Even if I had explained, I doubt anyone would have believed me. Zhou Hongjun snorted. The team leader is only thinking about climbing up the ladder and is most afraid of offending leaders. To get to the commune, he's given many gifts, but hasn't seen any results. If he knew Director Chu came to thank you, he'd regret it so much his intestines would turn green. Zhou Hongqi knew Qin Fugui's character even better. In his previous life, to get promoted, he married off his daughter, who had just come of age, to an elderly leader. Unfortunately, within a few years of his promotion, the leader got into trouble, and he was implicated and arrested along with him. The two chatted for a while. Then Zhou Hongqi took out 120 yuan from his pocket and handed it to Zhou Hongjun. Brother Jun, here's the 100 yuan I borrowed from you. Zhou Hongjun declined. You just severed ties. Keep it for household expenses first. Zhou Hongqi stuffed the money into his arms. I still have money at home, enough to live on. He had taken 200 yuan from Wang Yuzhen and Zhou Minfu, and today he returned 80. Plus the 30 yuan at home, he had a total of 310 yuan. After repaying the debt, there was still enough for their family of 3. With the intelligence system, he could continue to earn money. Only then did Zhou Hongjun accept the money and count it. Why is there an extra 20 yuan? You borrowed 100 yuan, why give so much? I'll take the 100, but take this 20 back. He took out 2 great unity notes and pressed them into Zhou Hongqi's hand. Zhou Hongqi smiled and declined. I've borrowed it for so long. There should be interest. What interest do we need between us? Take it back quickly. Zhou Hongjun refused with a glare. Zhou Hongqi wanted to speak again, but Zhou Hongjun stopped him. That's settled. Come on, let's have a few drinks, brothers. Zhou Hongqi had no choice but to put the money away. Brother Jun, I've already eaten. But I came to discuss something with you. What is it? I shot and wounded a sow while hunting in the mountains today. I thought I'd ask you to come with me tomorrow to take it down. A wounded sow. Zhou Hongjuan's eyes lit up with interest. As a veteran of the army, he was the village's militia platoon leader. Although he wasn't a hunter, his marksmanship was quite good. With the 2 of them carrying guns, they were confident they could take down the sow. Zhou Hongqi nodded in explanation. That's right. It should also have 2 piglets with it. If we can take it down, we won't lack meat this winter. Zhou Hongqi clapped his hands excitedly. We can do it. But with 3 wild boars, even if we take them down, we can't carry them all down. How about we call a couple more people? Then you take half, and we split the other half. Zhou Hongqi didn't refuse, as it was indeed difficult to bring the prey down the mountain. No problem. Brother Jun knows the villagers well. You find the people, and we'll split it evenly. Zhou Hongqi waved his hand. There's no such thing as an even split. We'll take a little advantage, and that's settled. Let's call Zhou Lei, Zhou Xiangdong, and Zhou Xiangyang, the 3 who came looking for you yesterday. They're all decent people, so there shouldn't be any problem. Zhou Hongqi had no objections. In his previous life, those 3 had helped him a lot. They were all reliable. With the people confirmed, Zhou Hongqi took Zhou Hongqi to find them one by one. Upon learning about the hunting trip, the 3 agreed after a moment's hesitation. They didn't distance themselves from Zhou Hongqi because he had offended the leaders. If they could really catch a wild boar, it would also improve their family's meals. The next morning, Zhao Xiuying got up early to prepare breakfast. She reheated the leftover pork and cabbage stew from last night and cooked a pot of corn grits porridge. With cornmeal cakes and pickled vegetables, it was quite a feast. Knowing Zhou Hongqi was going into the mountains to hunt, she steamed the few remaining sticky bean buns. She also boiled a few pieces of pork for Zhou Hongqi to eat on the mountain. Zhou Hongqi coaxed his daughter out of bed and, while eating, opened the intelligence system. Intel 1. A wounded sow with 2 piglets is roaming on Dingo Mountain. Intel 2. Sea cucumbers and abalones are hidden in the crevices of the rocks on Wangyue Island. Intel 3. A black bear that has gone into hibernation is active on Goxiong Ridge. As expected, the sow on Dingo Mountain was still there. The sea cucumbers and abalones on Wangyue Island hadn't disappeared either. This delighted Zhou Hongqi. The black bear on Goxiong Ridge hadn't left either. It seemed the intel would only update after the bear was taken down. Zhou Hongqi tapped Intel 1, and a mountain hollow appeared on the system panel. The sow and its 2 piglets were sleeping soundly. With the sow's location confirmed, he felt more confident about the hunting trip. After breakfast, Zhou Hongqi put on his cotton hat and tied his leggings. Carrying the Type 56 semi-automatic rifle and bow and arrows, and holding the hunting knife, he was ready to go out. Xiuying, you stay home and keep the door closed. If anything happens, go to Sister Shuqin. Zhao Xiuying helped Zhou Hongqi straighten his cotton coat and whispered a reminder. Be careful in the mountains. It's okay if you don't catch anything, just come back safely. Zhou Xiaowan also said in a childish voice, Dad, you must come back safely. Zhou Hongqi laughed and picked up his daughter, giving her a kiss on the cheek. Dad will bring you back wild boar to eat. Thinking of the taste of wild boar meat, Zhou Xiaojuan's mouth watered. Zhou Hongqi walked out of the adobe house. Zhou Hongqi was already waiting at the door with Zhou Lei, Zhou Xiangdong, and Zhou Xiangyang. Zhou Hongqi carried a Mosin Nagant rifle, and Zhou Xiangdong also held a single-barreled shotgun. Zhou Lei and Zhou Xiangyang, who didn't bring guns, also carried bows and arrows. To make it easier to carry the prey, they also pulled a sled. Zhou Hongqi greeted them and led them straight toward the forest. The news that Zhou Hongqi had taken people into the mountains spread quickly. Before they even entered the mountains, they became the talk of the villagers. Zhou Hongqi is really bold. He offended the leaders and still has the mood to go hunting. Zhou Lei and the others are still so close to Zhou Hongqi. They're not afraid of being implicated. When the county leaders retaliate against them too, they'll regret it. Hongjun is also following him in his nonsense. If something really happens, what will the family do? There's not much entertainment these days, and in winter, when there's nothing to do, people mostly play cards. When something happens in the village, basically every household talks about it. When Wang Yuzhen, who was eating, learned that Zhou Hongqi had gone into the mountains again, she cursed a couple of times. He offended the leaders and still goes into the mountains. He'd better die there. Zhou Minxiang took a couple of sips of corn porridge, his face full of disgust. Mom, do we have any money at home? Let's go to town and buy some meat. We only drink corn porridge and eat pickles all day. When will the injury on my face heal? I can't even go to town to meet a girl. Thinking that Zhou Hongqi's family has a whole wild boar and might be eating meat every meal. While they can only drink corn porridge and eat pickles, he was insanely jealous. Wang Yuzhen scolded angrily. What money is left? That unfilial eldest son took it all. Why doesn't heaven strike this ungrateful wolf with lightning? We raised him for over 20 years for nothing. If I had known, I wouldn't have picked him up back then. Picked up? The eldest isn't our biological son. Zhou Minxiang suddenly looked up, his eyes nearly popping out. Wang Yuzhen's eyes flickered, and she straightened her neck to explain. How could our Zhou family have such a bad seed? The eldest was picked up by me from the snow, and he was almost frozen to death at the time. Zhou Minxiang slammed the table, making the bowl of corn porridge jump. No wonder the eldest has no conscience at all. It turns out he doesn't have Zhou family blood. Mom raised him with good food and drink all these years, and not only is he ungrateful, but he even dares to rob us. He deserves to have offended the leaders and to go into the mountains. Dying in the mountains is too good for him. When the county leaders settle accounts with him, we'll take the opportunity to snatch back the money and the pork. He seemed to already see Zhou Hongqi being taken away, kneeling on the ground and crying for his parents. They would take the money and wild boar meat and happily stew the meat to eat.